Alright, we're going to pick up with question number 2 now, or excuse me, question number 10. And in this question, it's asking us to describe a transformation, the transformations, plural, that have been performed. So we're supposed to look at the original image, which is in this case triangle ABC, determine what happened to get the first image after the first transformation, ABC, and then the second transformation of ABC. What did they do to this one to get the final one? Okay, so if we look at the first transformation, what we have is we started with ABC over here in quadrant 1, and it looks like what's happened is all of the coordinates, oops, get rid of that, all of the x and y coordinates have been transformed by the rule where all the previous x values were positive. And I can see that if I was to make a matrix for ABC, the matrix would look something like this: 1, 1, 3, 4, and 5, 2. Okay, so that's representing what's going on in the original image. And if I was to make a matrix containing the coordinates for the new image after the first transformation, I would see something that looked like this: negative 1, 1, negative 3, 4, and negative 5, 2. Those are the coordinates of the new points. So all that's happening is the previous x's are becoming negative and the y's are staying exactly the same. Okay? So the first image is simply a reflection across the y-axis. That's the first transformation that's going on. So when we reflect it across the y-axis, all the x values become negative. All the positive x's become negative x's. And the y values are not changed. Okay? So that's transformation 1. If I was to make a matrix to contain the coordinates for the second one, it would look something like this: 1, negative 1, 3, negative 4, and 5, negative 2. Okay? So what's happening is we're going from having negative x's to positive x's. So if we were to continue this rule from where we ended up after our first transformation, our original x's were made negative, y's were kept the same in the first transformation. Now, those x's are now going to return to their original values, so now they're back to positive x values, and the y's instead are becoming negative. So what's happening is for each one of these, we're getting the negative of whatever x and y values we had in our previous transformation. So what's happening is they've simply taken this shape and rotated it 180 degrees. So that is a rotation of 180 degrees, and that is, again, counterclockwise. All of our rotations so far have been dealing mainly counterclockwise. Okay? So if we were to determine what transformation, and this isn't part of the question, but if you were asked what single transformation you could have done to get the final transformed image from the pre-image, from the first original image, you may be able to recognize that this is the same rule, and we can see it particularly in the graph, if we had simply just reflected across the x-axis. Okay? We would have ended up with the same image as going through those other two, reflecting across the y and then rotating 180 degrees. Okay? But those are the two transformations done, and that is question number 10.